So welcome back to another week of 10-minute Thursdays, where we're going to help you get more leads, close more sales, or improve your profitability in less than 10 minutes. So we'll put a timer on the clock and get things rolling. One of the things that's come up recently quite a bit from a lot of you has just been that, hey, I'm posting on social media and it's not giving me results, or I don't really post on it because it doesn't get me results, or I don't do it because it just takes too long and I'm not really sure if it's even worth it. I've got other things to do rather than try and get this as a source of leads. I've probably seen other people do it, but I just haven't figured out to crack that code. So I'm going to focus on other things. So what we want to do today is unpack one piece that's missing from a lot of what I'm seeing happening with the way that most contractors are approaching social media and trying to use it as a way to be able to be a great source for leads without spending any money on ads. So with that, we're going to jump right in and talk about one piece of it. So let me know if this looks familiar. We'll get something showing up on the screen here for a second. You feel like looking for leads on social media is kind of like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Well, one of the things we're going to show you today is going to help make the needle that you're looking for look like this in the haystack. It's going to a little bit bigger, stand out, make it easy to find. Okay. So it's really leveraging the power of Facebook groups to amplify your audience, because we had this come up with one of our clients earlier this week. Love the guy named Judd. He's a general contractor. So give you a little bit of a feel for what his content was looking like. If you look at your Facebook page, and happens with a lot of guys, when you look at the number of likes and followers, you might be having an audience that's maybe not as big as you'd like it to be. We'll put it that way, right? So if you don't have a huge audience, especially as we know, one of the things that's changed a lot with Meta over the years is that if anything you post on your pages, it only goes to a very small percentage of your audience unless you're going to pay to play. And so if that's the case, I mean, it's really going to less than 10%, sometimes even less than 5% or even 1%, depending on the day. So if that's what's happening, then posting content on your page, yeah, you can probably not to expect get a ton of traction out of it unless you've got tens of thousands of followers. If you're not there yet, which is fine, then one of the best ways to leverage this is to borrow and find another audience. So we had a guy who you can see he hasn't posted in several months. Okay, actually since like February, or even updating his cover photo in April. But finally got him to do a post just a couple of days ago, earlier this week. But not only that, but this particular project he was working on, okay, we had him do two things. Number one, we had him tag one of the other partners he was working with. In this particular case, he was doing the framing for another GC, another partner of his. Even though we could do the whole work, that was the nature of this particular project. So tagging him allowed him to get a little more boost for being able to have this post show up for that audience. But the bigger thing, like we talked about, using Facebook groups. So we identified a key group where a lot of his customers and his ideal clients hang out. And not only that, but also where a group that allows posting and promoting your business. And so we were able to find this group to post. And you look at this, he posted this just 2 days ago inside the group, shared it into this Facebook group, and within a day, he gets this lead right here. There's someone he's talking about the project he's doing, and then someone right away, look, I'm ready to go. So within one boost, one immediate post, finding the right group where he's able to promote his project, to promote his business, he's got someone, even though they're saying they're a month or two out, hey, look, we know that there's a way we can follow up with that lead and turn that into a warm conversation. And that's something we're working on. So how do you find different Facebook groups? I'll show you a couple of things that we do to help make that happen. So we get into very simple. You go into the Facebook group section. So I'm going to show you this. This is a little bit of an example of some slides I put together, again, in an unrelated industry, but just to get you thinking about how you can leverage the same approach. Think about your ideal clients. What are some of the words they use to describe themselves? So jot down right now, if you're watching this on the replay, maybe just 3 to 5 key words or ways that your ideal clients might describe themselves. So in this particular case, we went through this exercise with some folks that were in a title company and they want to work with real estate agents who are in Summit County. Maybe for you, it's homeowners in XYZ neighborhood, or maybe it's, again, whatever the case may be, think about who it is you want to work with. Think about your ideal projects, how they describe themselves. How can we get them to get plugged in? So that would be one of the first areas. Anyway, write down a couple of 5 or so keywords of ways that your ideal project or your ideal client might describe themselves, and then even where they are. When you do that, you'll see a bunch of different groups show up inside the Facebook group section, inside that search, your Facebook groups search section. So a couple key things to look for. Number one, you want to find groups and really only spend time looking at the ones that have at least a couple thousand people in them, and also the ones that are active. So you can see if I kind of highlighted here groups that have at least thousands of members, and then you can see also it'll show you, look, 10 posts a day, 8 posts a day, whatever the case may be. Probably don't want to worry about the ones that are only 7 posts a week, not quite as active, or 8 posts a month. Again, only about 200 people in it. So probably don't need to worry about those groups that are a lot smaller, not as active, but where you're going to do it. Next thing, once you're in, you can then start searching for just some keywords. So again, step one, identify a couple of keywords that describe your ideal project, your ideal client, who they are, and where they live. And then what's maybe some keywords that will be discussed in the posts inside those groups. So something like, again, if you're in flooring, then like flooring projects, then you'll start to see posts come up inside those groups where people are asking about flooring or asking about, again, getting an addition put on or whatever the case may be. So having those keywords done, that's going to allow you to see posts that pop up where people are talking about the things you're looking for or how you can help. Brandon, can you hear me okay? Give me like a wave or something if you can hear me. Looks like you might be on the road. Okay, cool, good. So those are kind of the key things. Look, again, find the groups, and then you've got a couple of ways to be able to find the posts where people are talking about the things that you can do and things you can help. So from there, you'll start to see, again, posts pop up inside these groups where you can then, again, weigh in and there's just another example of all that is using one keyword, the one that we searched on earlier, all these other posts where people are talking about it. Each one of them is an opportunity where you can jump in and respond to what people are looking for. So those are some of the key things. So in just a few minutes, like I said, take just a few minutes and jot down what are a couple of keywords that your ideal customer is using to describe themselves, and use that inside the Facebook group search section. Because from doing that, that's going to allow you to find groups that allow you to see where these people are hanging out. And once you're inside those groups, again, have your handful of keywords that you would want to search for posts people are talking about, things that pertain to the projects and types of things you're looking for. Again, whether that's, again, if you're like general contractor, like the example I showed earlier, yeah, this guy's looking for a framing project, or he's looking for an ADU, or he's looking for a basement finish, whatever the case may be. You'll start to see content in those groups. That's where you know you found one where not only should you, when you create your post on your page, share it into those groups, but also a great way for you to be able to engage with people who are having conversations or are looking for recommendations for the kinds of things that you do. So with that, that's our coverage. That's a strategy. Give that a shot and let me know.